Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Randomly Relaxing. So I'm going to do a video today that is a new idea that I've had. I haven't posted to this channel in quite some time. Hope everybody's been doing well, finding some relaxation. So many things going on in the world that I feel need sort of a relaxed approach to viewing and listening and considering them. So I've decided to jump in and offer a calm, relaxing voice analysis, stream of thoughts on some of them. And I was reading Reddit, as I sometimes do, and there's a section, no, this is not a video about John Mayer, but there's a section, or a subreddit called Am I the Asshole? And in this subreddit, people post like basically little stories about some situation that's happened where they think, or maybe somebody has alleged, that they are being an asshole, and they're asking for the community on Reddit to give their opinion. And you know, the sort of seriousness of the posts has a wide variation. Some of the posts are, just sort of silly. Some of them are quite serious stuff. Things like, dealing with family issues, and relationship stuff, and things of that nature. So I find many of them very interesting, and what I find myself thinking a lot when I read these is, the comments are often sort of insufficiently kind of detailed, treatment of, I think, an analysis of the question at hand. And that makes, perfect sense, because people don't have 3 years to work on a Reddit response that's one of hundreds or thousands in reaction to a post. But I also think that a lot of the questions that are raised in Am I the Asshole are, worthy of exploring in a deeper fashion. And that's why I was thinking for a while now that doing some ASMR content on some of these posts in Am I the Asshole would be, entertaining, hopefully relaxing, and maybe in some cases helpful to anybody who might glean some ideas or thoughts about how to handle a situation that may be going on in your own life that is similar, or at least somewhat similar, to the situations that you see described in Am I the Asshole posts. So that's my explanation of what this series of videos will be. I hope to do, a good number of these. We'll see what the interest level is, and judge by people's response as to how valuable these are to you viewers and listeners out there. All right, so I'm just going to look through the ones for today. Maybe I'll just say AITA instead of Am I the Asshole, since it's shorter and I don't have to kind of use a profanity. Maybe we'll do this one. So part of this is just going to be, me reading in a nice, calm, relaxed manner. I haven't decided if I'm going to read the whole thing and then sort of talk about, what I think about the question of whether AITA, or I think probably more likely I'll read and sort of annotate as I go. So, here we go. AITA for insinuating a woman was fat. Okay. Then they usually say their age and gender, although it's funny because they're always, female or male. I don't know if I've seen any that say like, non-binary or something else. We'll see if we come across any. So I, 35-year-old female, am currently 8 months pregnant. Something I've learned, fun news for anyone aspiring to follow down that same path, is that a lot of people, mostly older women, feel that if you get pregnant, they suddenly have the right to both comment and touch your body without permission. Sometimes, often without warning, even total strangers. I'm an intrinsically private person, and while I don't take offense, it does encourage the inner snark to come out. Okay, so here I'm going to offer a few thoughts and say, I have no idea what it's like to be a pregnant woman, or a woman at all. And for that reason, I like to listen very carefully when any woman is willing to kind of explain what it's like to, be a woman in various situations in our society. And this, I think, is one opportunity to hear what it's like for this particular woman who's pregnant, and it's expressing that people seem to want to comment and touch on her body without permission, which sounds pretty terrible. I can't imagine anybody thinking I would like to have people comment and touch my body in any circumstance. So I imagine if one is pregnant, which involves, having a lot of physical discomfort, that desire would be even less frequent, if ever. So I can definitely see where this person is coming from, that it's pretty awful when people behave in that way. I hope if you're a person that's behaved in that way, perhaps, not knowing that, or not really realizing that some folks would, maybe all folks would, be kind of bothered by that, then hopefully, you could learn from this woman's experience, as we can whenever we ask somebody who's different than us to explain what life is like in some way from their eyes and their experience. All right, let's read on. I started showing around 5-6 months. I have 2 fibroids that are each quite large, I think softball size. I believe a fibroid is basically like a benign mass of some kind, can be in various places of one's body and presumably cause great discomfort depending on where it's located and kind of nerves that may be touching. This causes me to look bigger and further along than I am. I've also not really gained elsewise, yes, I'm aware it's a good problem to have, but I do look disproportionate, so it's really apparent even under hoodies. Fast forward to last weekend. I was in your local grocery store, our local grocery store, sorry, and an older, larger woman walks up to me and says something akin to, "Aw, honey, congrats. How far along are you?" Kindly, "Sure." So I smile. Step out of touching distance. This is usually when they go for a belly feel. And say 8 months. She looked at me with a shocked expression and exclaims, "Oh, hun, no, I would have guessed any day now. You're huge." Okay, so I guess the woman was saying she thought she was maybe like 9 months. I mean, instead of 8. So I smiled sweetly back at her and said, "Aw, hun." Or no, said, "Aw, thanks. You too." You can imagine it didn't go over well. At one point, she said something about it being medical. And so my one interjection was, "Hey, me too." But it didn't do much to diffuse the situation. Eventually, she huffed away, and I carried on my business. I don't really feel bad, but I am trying to gauge the assholiness of my response. I strongly feel that there shouldn't be a stigma that pregnant women suddenly become public property, but acknowledge I could have once again been the bigger person, or responded with, "Yeah, I have 2 tumors in there with her," which has historically gotten a sputtering apology from people too. Fibroids are benign tumors, so this is technically true, just aimed at making people uncomfortable. Okay, sorry about that. I had a little computer snafu, so I had to stop recording and restart. But I was about to say what I find in a lot of the stories that people tell on AITA is that, you know, they'll have some situation where somebody has done something to them is fairly rude. We might objectively agree, and then they respond in some way. And so their AITA is essentially, you know, was this justified or kind of self-defense, as opposed to someone, you know, being a, I guess, equal a-hole as the person who was originally offending them. And, you know, I don't know if that kind of moral algebra is possible. I think all the time people do things that are rude or upsetting, and that I think we could objectively say they're being, you know, an a-hole. I don't know that there's any sort of great calculation you can do to determine like how much of a a-hole you can be in response, and have it be sort of a wash, like morally or ethically. But such is life when dealing with human beings. I just think, you know, every action has an, you know, equal and opposite reaction. And yeah, I mean, we get upset. Often people are a-holes to others because they're triggered, you know, either by something that has just happened or some kind of experience or trauma or something that's, you know, in their past, and that makes them more inclined to do things that I think we all can agree are rude. So, you know, this one seems very simple to me. I mean, I do think, you know, it's funny, as men, at least in my experience, you know, we're kind of, at least some men, we're inclined to be very careful about ever mentioning pregnancy with, someone who we don't know is pregnant, because, people can sort of look pregnant if they had a big lunch and they have, sort of a protruding belly or something, or they can, have excess weight, or as in this case, somebody's got a medical condition that causes the stomach to be further distended than it might normally be, even with pregnancy. So I've always felt that I should not be commenting on anybody's pregnancy or non-pregnancy unless they have invited that conversation topic themselves, or volunteered, that they're pregnant or something. And I think, quite frankly, that's the best approach for everybody to take, and it would avoid situations like this. If the woman who approached this person, this poster in the store, had that approach, then this never would have happened. But she didn't have that approach, and she did make this comment, and it did was upsetting to the person who received the comment, and I think justifiably so. But then the poster of this story admittedly was put in a mood where she was, quote unquote, where her inner snark came out, and she did something that I think she would not have done, if she had perhaps been in a situation where she was not experiencing some offense from what the woman at the store had said. So I think she recognizes that, or else, why would you really even need to ask AITA? So here's a situation where someone was treated in a way I think that is less than ideally respectful, and caused her to respond in a way that I think in more calm situations would not have done, and is now wondering if, maybe her behavior, less than ideal behavior, has, is justified. And I don't know if it's really justified, I guess, in the way that, for example, if someone punches you in the face, you're probably justified in using physical force to extent that's necessary to avoid further being injured. I don't think it's quite that kind of equation, but those are my thoughts. Take a look at what people in the comments said. Here's one that says, not the a-hole. Just because you're blah, blah, blah. Basically says, yeah, what the woman said was rude. Okay, well, it was rude, I feel. But the question is, is commenting then on the other woman's weight acceptable because she commented on, your physical appearance? This comment didn't seem to address it. Just said what the other woman did was wrong, and that's, I think, true. But it's only half the question. All right, NTA. And I'm about to write up a separate post that's like AITA for thinking this woman's sneaky clapback was hilarious. Well, you see, this poster has a sense that perhaps her answer is not maybe addressing all the potential issues raised by this AITA. People need to stop commenting on other people's bodies, no matter the circumstance, forever. I agree. If they won't, they'll simply have to take what's coming to them. Yeah, so I guess she says, if somebody comments on your body, even though they shouldn't, then you're able to comment on their body. So I guess she's taking the eye for an eye approach. I don't know if that's morally consistent. Absolutely NTA. It's not the same scenario, but as a child-free woman, people also think they have the right to make so many stupid comments. Yeah, I agree. A lot of people make very kind of insensitive comments about all manner of things, and particularly so probably about women. All right, I'm not going to read the rest of it. I mean, I think all of these basically say NTA, but the question they're really answering is, did what the other woman, is what the other woman did wrong? Well, yeah, I think we all agree. It was wrong to sort of make a comment about a pregnant woman's size in sort of a judgmental kind of way. But that's the easy part of this one. The question is, does then commenting back on this woman's, size become an a-hole move, or no, because, it was the second shot. See if anybody takes sort of a more, oh, here's someone says, you're the a-hole. Deliberately cruel. Well, that's an interesting thought, The woman in the store who commented that somebody seemed like she was 9 months instead of 8 months, you could see that she probably wasn't intending to be mean. She came off as kind of, I can see why someone would take offense to that, absolutely. But the woman who was pregnant and responded did intend to, retaliate and extract some, harmful kind of feelings from the woman that she was responding to. So take from that what you will. I think that maybe is a interesting thought. I would say more it's like, well, if you don't like people commenting on your body, I don't think the answer is to comment on their body, because, two wrongs don't make a right. But I also, I get people aren't perfect, and they can't in the moment always do the thing that they might objectively do, in a totally stress-free kind of situation where they weren't just subject to somebody being rude to them. All right, that's it. So I've noticed Reddit has this thing where they only show you like a certain number of comments, and then you got to click the button. Kind of, I think it goes on forever, and then you got to click for more. Save it on that server space by doing that. But I only typically go through like the first page and don't click the read more button. All right, there you go, folks. There's AITA, little gum chewing in there for those that appreciate gum chewing sounds. Won't always do that, but I had some gum in, so I thought, what the hell. All right, hope you're doing well. Look forward to the next one. Might do some political stuff at some point. It's getting to be that time of year. Got the primaries coming up for the Republicans, and there's always political stuff going on. So hope everybody's doing well. Thanks so much for watching. Please give a like and subscribe if you like this content, and we'll catch y'all next time. Have a good one. Bye now.